Hi, George here with DressOnDram.com for another whiskey review. Today I've got a bottle of Rough Rider Double Cask Straight Bourbon from Long Island Spirits. Really tasty stuff. The deal with this is it's double pot distilled from corn, rye, and malt barley, aged for at least 2 years in the new charred white American oak, so it can be called straight bourbon, or even bourbon at all, really, for the new oak. But anyway, but the difference here is they have extra maturation in French Oak Chardonnay barrels that they've rinsed out with a high-proof brandy, and that really adds a lot of different interesting character to it that otherwise would not be there. Anyway, let's dive right in. On the nose, you can definitely smell influence from the brandy rinse of that on that Chardonnay cask. You can smell some of the influence from the Chardonnay cask itself, and some of that more refined softness that you get out of a French oak maturation of something. Definite oakiness to it, some caramel, some rich vanilla, some fruit to it, some like dried plum, a little hint of appliness. Very, very vibrant, very bright, crisp, alive on the nose. Kind of actually like a Chardonnay in the sense of the crispness and the bright acidity to it. Doesn't seem quite as tannic as you'd expect it to, but I think a part of that is only 2 years in the American oak, which is not super heavily tannic usually anyway, and then the used French oak. But definitely very crisp, alive on the palate though. Got a lot of rich, sweet caramely corn notes. More of those dried fruits. Little wine-like in terms of, again, that acidity and the viscosity. It's a little light in body, which is very nice though. You get a little heat off of it for being at 90 proof. Very, very complex though on the palate. A little bit of spiciness behind the corn caramely sweetness and some of that fruit. It's very mouth coating in the sense that you get that caramely, corny goodness in and around everywhere. This is one of those bourbons where the more you sip, the more and more you really like it. Definitely something to take your time with and really get to know. As you can see, I've spent a fair amount of time with this bottle already. On the finish, get more of those oaky, toasty notes. Sweet vanilla, more of those dried fruits, some of the baked fruits. Vanilla definitely shines through though, very strongly on the finish. But like a subtle, nice, creamy vanilla, not necessarily vanilla extract, super extracted, big in your face vanilla. It's like very mellow, refined, relaxing vanilla finish on there. All in all, I'd say this is one of the more interesting bourbons out there in terms of what's been done in extra maturation. And I think I really do enjoy I do have more wine finished bourbons than, well, whiskey in general, but there's some really great ones out there. This is definitely one of them. Give this a nice score of an even 90. Fantastic stuff. Right there in that low $30 range, so it's nothing obscene to have to get your hands on. Nice, easy drinking, worth grabbing. Anyway, I feel like finishing this off in peace and not for you. So, make sure to, if you like the video, subscribe. Like the video, leave comments saying what you thought of the review, what you think of this bourbon, what you'd like to see reviewed in the future. JustOneDram.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that social media nonsense. Cheers!